Okay, my lovelies. Nice relaxing evening practice. And just beginning on your mats where you are most comfortable. Sometimes that's seated, sometimes that's lying down. And as always, just listening to your body. If there are certain poses this evening that really don't feel right or don't suit you, change them out into something that you do know that you can do, whether it's a sort of a single pose or a two-sided pose. I'll guide you. It's always worth having a try with the poses, because some days your body will just sort of react to it and enjoy. But then other days, if it's screaming at you, just don't do it. Always listen to Satya and Ahimsa. So just checking in physically with yourself, but also energetically, mentally, emotionally, whether you're feeling a little bit depleted and your battery needs charging, or whether you're feeling okay and fairly balanced. It's just an observation, no judgment. And as the nights do draw in, I think it does affect our energies, especially if we do get up in the darkness and come home in the darkness. We're not getting as much energy from the sun and our vitamin D. All have little effects on us. So in some ways, it's even more important to enjoy the practices, whether it's yoga, whether it's something else, that does bring back harmony to you and a little bit of balance. So we'll start with a nice gentle relaxation meditation. So if you're lying down, just have a nice moment to stretch into your body, full body stretch. If you haven't done one of those already today, it will feel lovely. If you're already seated, you just want to roll the shoulders, tilt the head, flex gently into the spine, just sort of getting in tune with how your body's feeling. Take a few deep breaths. Well, it's all about coming into this space, into this moment. And this evening we'll do the mantra mudra, peace begins with me. Haven't done that one for a little while, so it's nice just to return to all these different practices we have. So for 5 minutes, we'll use the fingers. So each finger touches the thumb, and in our mind we will say, peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. So just resting the hands on the thighs. Let your body feel comfortable. You can drop your eyelids closed. And if halfway through you want to stop the fingers and the mudra, just carry on with the mantra, maybe just resting the hands into the lap. So let's begin. So peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. And just carry on. Just staying with the mantra and the mudra. And if you just want to relax the hands, you can, or carry on. Stay with the mantra in your mind. And then just taking a few more breaths. Coming back into the room. How did it feel when you're doing the mantra and the mudra? And then if you did stop partway through, how did that feel? Did the mind wander off a little bit more when you're not doing something with your hands? I find that that can be the case when less to concentrate on. Okay, so we're going to start with turtle, child's pose basically. So coming into this lovely little compression. If it's too much for you, if it aggravates the knee joints, I would say maybe just coming into a bit more of a relaxed one. Have the bottom raised a little so that you're not too compressed in the knees. You can just rest the head down or on a pillow or on a block, whatever feels right for you. But if you're happy to come into turtle, you can just maybe rest the head on the block, drop the hands back down to the feet and just enjoy how it feels to let the shoulders round and the arms become heavy. If this compression gets too much after a while, please adjust or come out of the pose completely or change. So as you start to relax here, notice the abdominal muscles, whether they're tight and you're pushing the belly out. Notice if as you soften, you can relax, expand the back ribs. This is a lovely pose for stretching through the spine and the back.
Relaxing into your arms and shoulders, and if after a while you want to remove any props, you can. If it feels better to use your fists under your forehead, you can. See if you can relax the neck. This might be a pose where you feel like you're still holding tension in the neck. And enjoy following your breath, feeling the breath move to the belly, up into the chest. And then very gently we will lift our head. Take your time as you come up. We've had the head very low, so just avoiding any fast movements and dizziness. So if as you bring your head up, just take a moment, and then we can come into Shavasana. That pose, turtle, that we've just done is also wonderful for your stomach meridian, which runs along the shin and the front of the leg. So great for your ankles, great for your knees, as long as there's no issues there. And then as you come out and you just lie flat, it feels lovely to just unroll. Take a few breaths, deep breaths. Start to just release the tension that you're still holding in your back. And then perhaps you can feel the tingly or the coldness running through the legs at certain places. Keep trying to relax through the back of your body, softening the lower back. And then gently let's draw the right knee in and then left knee. Enjoy a nice rock here. So we'll roll up and come onto belly to counterpose turtle with seal. And this evening, I'm going to use a little cushion under the ribs just to become a little bit more comfortable. And again, if you've got a block handy that you want to use just to rest your forehead, take a little bit of weight out of the neck, then that's nice. Adjust where your elbows and arms are. If you do need to come lower because of the lower back, please start off there and then you can just adapt. So nice deep breath in, maybe a long sigh. Relaxing lower back and buttocks. And then just drawing your awareness to belly breathing. And that expansion in the chest. Noticing your thoughts, where you are, whether you're in the present moment. How do you feel here? If it gets a little bit easier or you've lost the sensation, maybe you can just try coming up a little bit higher if that feels right. Following your breath. And enjoying the quiet space to really notice your thoughts. How does it feel after being in the pose for virtually 5 minutes? Do you feel difference from the start to now? Can you feel the softening where it eases up? So just taking a breath and then we'll gently come out. If you've got, or you were using a block then, just keep it handy. But turn onto your back for Shavasana. Take your time as you come out and move. We spend a lot of our time leaning forward, bending forward in life. But actually coming into back bends is quite unusual for the body. So just being gentle as you move. And again, relax. Take that lovely long out breath as the opportunity to let everything just rest to the mat. And enjoying any refreshing feelings in the body. Notice if whatever sensation you're feeling is welcome, whether it's assumed that you'll feel like this or whether there's a new sort of sensation you've not noticed before that feels quite good. Just allowing the breath to be gentle. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the knees in, one at a time always, just to support the lower back. And take a few moments to rock. And again, here, nice deep breath. If you want to bring the head up to knees, that sometimes feels nice just to stretch a bit more. And then using your block, we're going to come into bridge pose, supported bridge. So you've always got two choices, to have the block on the top height or the second height down. Just choose. You might come onto the top height and tonight think, oh no, it just doesn't feel right. I'm going to come lower. So please let your body guide you. So bringing the block behind the body on the sacrum, not the lumbar vertebrae. So that lovely flat part at the top where the buttocks, top of the buttocks. And then just have a few moments to move around, get comfortable. Just elongate through the neck. The chin will tuck in naturally. And let's just try to relax into the inner thighs and the buttocks, sides of the waist. And then just every now and then checking in with whether you're tense in your shoulders and upper back. Notice if you're relaxed in your hands and wrists. And keep noticing if your shoulders are creeping up to the ears, relaxing the shoulder blades. Lovely for solar plexus, heart and throat. And if your eyelids are closed, just enjoy following your breath, nice deep belly breaths. Are you breathing deeply, or is the breath shallow? Or is it just sort of part way, gentle? Relaxing shoulders around the shoulder blades. How do you feel here? Does it feel good in the body? Do you feel like you need to lower down a little? relaxing inner thighs and buttocks. So we'll just take a few more breaths. When you're ready, just come onto your toes. Lift ever so gently so that you can move the block. And then just roll your spine down, one vertebrae at a time. Finding Shavasana. If you need to just wag your tail, rock the pelvis, just to sort of find that little bit of comfort, let the spine align. And again, just noticing how it feels here, especially in this sacral area, whether it feels quite spacious, invigorated, whether in some ways it sort of energized you a little. Working with solar plexus, which is our little powerhouse of energy, if you can imagine it like your internal battery, the internal sun that radiates out. So just noticing how that feeling is now shifting, perhaps that sensation where you felt the block, it's easing away now. And we'll draw our knees in, again, one at a time, nice and slowly. Just checking in with how you're feeling. Rocking and making small circles. Whatever feels nice and nurturing to you this evening. So the next pose is two-sided, it's banana. If you've got issues with the hip, this may be one that you want to be gentle with, or perhaps choose a completely different pose that's two-sided that you know that you can do and enjoy. This is a nice resting pose on the mat, so if you wanted to grab a blanket, because we can use it for this and the final pose of waterfall, it's always quite nice just to sort of get cozy. So although I'll do this after I've covered my feet, just to go through the pose. So lying down, take your feet over to the lower right corner and then bring your right foot over your left and then just gently shuffle the shoulders to the top right corner so that we're bending into a sort of a banana shape. And then if you want to, you can just enjoy having a nice blanket over the feet. When we lie still, we can cool off. And relax. If you want to take your arms overhead, that's quite a nice feeling to stretch through the lats, sides of your body. And if you want to, you can change into cactus arms, where you bend at the elbows and just let the hands rest behind you. Lovely stretch to the inner arms here and across the top of the chest. Try not to tense up, still try and relax. But then if you want to be quite relaxed, you can always just take the arms back down to your sides and rest here. As you breathe, you can just follow where your breath moves in your body. Fanning into the left side.
This is lovely for your gallbladder. Notice what's going through your mind, whether you're in the present. Just gently check around the waist, whether you're tensing either side. Even though this is a very relaxing pose, still keep looking through your body for where tension does creep back in. Could be sides of the waist, tension in the abdominal muscles, shoulders or neck. And then we'll just take one more breath. Let's just gently come back into neutral spine. Take a few moments again if you just need to wag your tail, rock your pelvis, let everything reset. How do you feel? Notice how one side feels compared with the other, whichever pose you chose. And then if you need to and want to, you can just draw knees into chest for a moment. It's always nice just to release out if there is any tightness lingering. And then we'll come into the other side. So if you're taking banana, bringing feet to the lower left corner, left foot just crosses over the right ankle, and then shoulders up to the left. And again, if you started with your arms up the other side, it's quite nice to do the same. Even if it's just for a few breaths. Try and relax the neck and your face. Cactus arms.
if that feels nice. Or arms by your sides. What are you thinking? How does this feel? Enjoy following your breath, drawing your mind back to the breath whenever it wanders off. Noticing any emotions and feelings that come up for you. Or maybe you're just feeling very calm and peaceful. So we'll take one more breath. And very gently, just allowing your body to come back into neutral. How do you feel? Just shift the body if you need to. Are you relaxed in your arms and shoulders? Through the legs? Even when we feel relaxed, are we actually as relaxed as we could be? So gently, again, we'll hug knees in. Take a nice long time here to rock if you need to. The lovely thing about yin is there's no rush. Every opportunity, whether we're in a pose or in the neutral spine between poses, is that chance just to reconnect with ourselves, with our body, with our thoughts, our emotions, just everything about yourself to reconnect. Okay, so we're going to come into waterfall. One of my favourite poses always to end with because it's very relaxing and an inversion and very beneficial to the heart and fluid in the legs. So grab a cushion and just gently rock yourself up so that you can wedge it underneath the buttocks. And again, if you still have your blanket to hand, If you were using it earlier, we can just pop it over the legs. It just makes it a little bit more cozy and comfortable. And then we can relax back. Enjoy a nice gentle bend in the knee. It makes it perhaps a bit more comfortable. And a few deep breaths. Allow the chest to relax, shoulders and neck. And you can allow the eyes to close gently and gaze towards your third eye. How do you feel? Relaxed? Just keep looking through your body for anything that's a bit tight and tense. Even your face, your eyes, your mouth, your jaw. And relaxing and letting go. Is your breath nice and gentle and rhythmic? Do you notice if it becomes shallow? Notice where your mind is through your poses. Often we take about 5 minutes in each pose, give or take. Does your body know or feel how long 5 minutes is? Can you judge it? How long does it take to relax into the pose? And are there times when you're impatient and want to come out? So very gently now, we'll just take a breath or 2 breaths. We'll lower the feet, bend your knees, and just pull your cushion out. We'll take Shavasana for a moment. Just feel whatever you feel. Nice long sigh. Where do you feel chi moving? If anywhere? So before we come into relaxation, we just want to take a minute or so to do the 3-part yogic breath. You can bring hand onto belly, onto chest if you want to, but if you're familiar with the breath and you're quite comfortable, just let your arms relax. But we'll just do a few rounds of this lovely relaxing breath. So when you're ready, breathing a third into the belly, third up into the chest, and then a third up towards the collarbones, the clavicle area, right towards the head, and then a lovely slow exhalation. Try to let the breath be a nice fluid breath rather than starting and stopping. So belly, chest, head. Nice slow exhale. Allowing all the breath to leave the body. Breathing in again, belly, chest, head. Relaxing everything a little deeper each time. Perhaps you'll notice a very short pause before you exhale. There might be a very short pause before you inhale. The internal and external kumbhaka. So just one more breath. And then we'll come into relaxation. If you're already lying down and you want to stay there, get more comfortable with cushions under the knees or behind the head. If you're more comfortable seated, then just rolling up. Making sure you're nice and comfortable, lovely and warm. And that might mean using 2 blankets. It's definitely that time to get cozy. Not that I ever need an excuse to have a blanket. I'm definitely a blanket girl. So let's just have a little time now. Not in any particular pose, just to relax. Let your eyelids close. Soften around the forehead and the scalp. Loosen the cheeks. Soften around the mouth and chin and jaw. And next, just relaxing shoulders and arms all the way down to your fingertips. Noticing the front of the body as you breathe and the back. Relaxing the sides of your body. Relaxing the pelvis and buttocks, both legs.
all the way down to your 10 toes. Relaxed through the front of your body, back of your body, sides of your body. I'd like you to imagine that you've gone on a moonlit walk. Perhaps you can imagine you're somewhere in America, somewhere very high, and looking down on the twinkling lights of a city. From where you are, it may be a viewing point, and there may be a few little benches for people to sit, looking out either in the daytime onto the city or at night time, the darkness and all the twinkling lights. Perhaps there are tall office buildings with lights on here and there. The big city will have big roads, so seeing the headlights of cars and the red rear lights of cars going in the opposite direction. Depending on how far you can see or whether you can bring it closer in your imagination, you might see lots of coloured lights of nightclubs or restaurants, flashing neon signs. Notice if there's a bridge in the distance that's lit up. The imagination is a wonderful thing. See if you can create this cityscape in your mind. All the different lights. Some areas will be brighter than others. Full of life. And then as you look up to the sky, you see all the stars. From the busyness of the earth to the quietness of space, stars and planets, all in darkness. So just having a few minutes to just sit with this image, see what more you can create and build the picture. So when you're ready, coming back from this bright city lights, or perhaps you had immersed yourself in the starry sky. Just taking a few deep breaths. And maybe now beginning just to move fingers and toes. Tilt the head, roll the head. Maybe shrug the shoulders or roll them round. Just coming back into the body that's been still for a little while. How do you feel? If you started off depleted, how is your energy? Is it calm but in some ways slightly restored? Just noticing. Yoga has an amazing way of bringing balance. Well, wherever you start, there'll be balance towards the end of your practice. So if you're lying down, hug your knees in. Have a stretch first. Enjoy just massaging your back. And then when you're ready, you can roll up. As you come to seated slowly, just have a few moments to imagine roots extending from your tailbone, Muladhara, down into the earth. Lovely image to always just keep grounded and centered. And then bringing hands to heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.